restaurants, including in neighborhoods where offices are located, the United Nations is adapting its operations to ensure the continued delivery of critical humanitarian programs.
They said essential UN personnel will remain in Port-au-Prince. Coordinated gang attacks have crippled the country's capital and forced the prime minister to resign. In the second week of this month alone, at least 150 people have died in the capital, with 20,000 displaced. The UN reports over 4,500 deaths in Haiti this year. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum suggested that her country could retaliate against American tariffs on Mexican goods. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump threatened tariffs of 25% unless Mexico stops the flow of drugs and migrants across the border. Sheinbaum said she is willing to engage in talks on the issues, but said drugs were a U.S. problem.
We've always expressed Mexico's willingness to prevent the ongoing fentanyl epidemic in the United States, which is a problem of public health and consumption in your country's society.
Sheinbaum also criticized U.S. spending on weapons, saying that it should be used to address the problem of migration. The Sudanese Health Ministry says a deadly cholera outbreak has killed over 1,100 people since July. The disease has spread to 81 districts across 11 states. It's prompted authorities to implement measures such as cleaning and disinfection and to establish isolation centers. But there's still urgent need for additional support amid significant shortages of medicines and medical personnel. Epidemic diseases are spreading in Sudan, including cholera and dengue fever, due to the dire humanitarian situation.
Once upon a time, in a land not so very far away, stories were told of the brave and the bold. All court fell silent to hear what the great warrior might ask for of mighty deities and powerful immortals.
Immediately, a shimmering skin started to grow before his eyes.
Of fated love and love sanctified.
In dawn's golden light, Mulan said,
Marry me. Of great journeys across fantastical landscapes.
The cat and the mouse
Climbed on a dog's back, and the dog swam across the broad in the company of friends and enemies and unimagined beasts. Of ordinary folk with tantalizing stories to tell. Heroes and heroines all. It's incredible. How could you do that? Tales of sad sacrifice and victories snatched from the jaws of defeat. Stories of the wise, the accomplished, and the quick of mind. 5,000 years of amazing Chinese folk tales. You'll find Chinese Folk Tales Season 3, wherever you discover your favorite podcasts.
At 24 past the hour, French farmers have been protesting outside the European Parliament against a trade agreement with South American countries. The Mercosur deal in 2019 aims to create one of the world's biggest free trade zones, but it's yet to be adopted. Some European farmers say it'll create unfair competition. Ross Cullen has more on the reactions.
French farmers certainly not keen on this trade deal. They fear that there would be a flooding of the European market, of the French market, with hemp exports coming from South American countries. Members of the Mercosur bloc, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay and Bolivia, and they are worried that there would be, for example, beef and poultry being exported, perhaps subject to fewer regulations than their current products in the French market. So they have been blocking certain roads. They have been outside town halls, city halls in Strasbourg as well. So they are showing their anger and their frustration with the situation at the EU level, but also here at the French level. However, their protests have not fallen on deaf ears, because there is a lot of agreement from public and politicians about the fact that France is in disagreement with the accord between the EU and Mercosur. The French Prime Minister, Michel Barnier, has said that France is firmly opposed to this agreement. He says he hears and understands the anger. He hears and understands the tensions on the streets and in the field of France. It is one of those rare times when we have agreement, the Prime Minister, the President, the government, the opposition, they are all in favour of voting down this agreement. They are all going to vote against the Mercosur deal, but that is only at Parisian level, at French level, at national level. Their votes will not have an impact on Ursula von der Leyen, Germany and Spain, and their drive to get this deal over the line. They fear it would have the negative impacts will be outweighed by the positive impacts for companies like LVMH, L'Oreal, big French giants who will have another luxury market for their goods. The car industry as well, good news for French brands like Renault, Peugeot, German brands, Volkswagen and Audi as well. So they are arguing at EU level that there's a lot of positive impacts to outweigh it. However, here in France, they have been saying this is the straw that broke the camel's back. There's so much pressure on French farmers already going through the environmental transition, impacts from exports from other areas of the world, tariffs potentially coming in. They are already being subsidised to a huge amount by the EU. They're saying that they are really struggling. So there is a lot of anger, but we are seeing a lot of agreement. French MPs on their side, and they're very likely to be voting down this deal. However, it's very likely still to pass at EU level.
That was Ross Collin reporting from Paris.
I love you, Betty. Love.
Remember?
Thank you.
Big all right?
What do they truly mean? Embark on a century-long journey with CGTN Radio's latest offering. Echoes of Kulian, a gripping audio drama series inspired by real-life tales.
Anyone heard of a blood shot?
From unexpected encounters to heartfelt reunions, immerse yourself in a narrative of love, peace, and enduring friendship. Listen to Echoes of Kulian on radio.cgtn.com and all major podcast platforms.
Being on.
28 minutes past the hour. Checking the forecast ahead of the break, and Beijing's down to -4 Wednesday evening. Sunny conditions and 7 degrees on Thursday.